Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, you're definitely welcome. My name is Jemima, and I have to hurry up and film this video because my baby girl was here and it was basically impossible for me to film this video, so I had to take her downstairs, and she's by herself downstairs. I'm typically not comfortable with that. She's safe, she's in a safe place, but I'm not comfortable with leaving her downstairs, so I'm gonna hurry up to film this video because today might be the only time I will have to film this video because the rest of my week will be so busy. So in today's video I will be talking about my first car as an international student in the US, but this car I'll be talking about, it's not the actual first car I've had. The actual first car I had was a car my mom actually helped me to get, and that was like a very big mistake, a whole story on its own, and the car only lasted for a month. This car I'm talking about is the car that I specifically saved up some money myself, paid for everything by myself, and I was so proud of this car. So basically this is to me my official first car, and this story is actually going to be a sad story, and I just decided to share this story just so that someone might learn from my experience, and it will definitely help you in any way possible. And if you want to just get entertained as well, you can also watch this video, but yeah, it's gonna be a sad story. It was a 2006 Nissan Altima, but honestly to me, I felt like I had like a 2020 Maserati just cause I was so emotionally attached to this car, and that car meant so much to me because it was like I was looking at my hard work. Even though I need to check on my daughter. Give me 1 second. I do apologize for that. There's a middle school right next to our house, and the kids are playing, so I thought it was my daughter. So where did I stop at? Anyways, I was talking about the car. It's a 2006 Nissan Altima, and it really felt like I owned a Maserati to me, just because I was so emotionally attached to the car. I need to breathe out. I climbed the stairs, I ran up. So yeah, like I said, I was so emotionally attached to the car, and I was so proud of the car. I was so proud of myself for being able to get that car. So I bought the car in 2018, and that was actually when I learned how to drive. So I did go to the driving school thing. I got my driver's license, then I went to get the car. So I got a car from a friend. He was a Cameroonian guy that was also in my school. I think he was studying a postgraduate degree or something like that. But he did leave. His family was in Texas. Like, he only went to Louisiana to attend school. But he does sell cars. So basically what he does is that they go to like auction lots and they get cars that are on auction, like they bid for the cars, and then they get like cars that have gone through accidents or cars that are just basically there. Like, they buy them and fix them and then sell them and make profit. So basically that's what he does. But this particular car, like I said, 2006 Nissan Altima, and then it did come with about 180,000 miles on the car. So I wouldn't advise anybody to get a car like that. Like, personally, I wouldn't. But hey, that was what I could afford, and it was still taking me from point A to point B, and I really loved my car. And hey, by then too, I didn't really know much about cars. All I knew is that car was the only one that could match my budget. But it was 1.5, and yeah, so I got. So what happened was that car did serve me from 2018 when I got it to 2019 after my graduation. So it did serve me for a year without any issues. And let me be honest with you guys, I was taking care of that car mechanically wise. I wasn't taking care of it per se by washing it, because I just let the rain wash it for me, but I'm not proud of that. But yeah, I used to take care of it. Like, I used to get my oil change, I used to check everything, I get it to get checked, and everything was working fine. Then my mom came to the US in 2019. Like you guys know, I graduated from my undergrad in 2019. Then one day Well, I noticed during that period in 2019 that my radiator was leaking. So radiator, Shasha, is that thing that you pour that liquid water. I wasn't even using water. There's one liquid I go to AutoZone for them to pour, something like that, or the auto place for them to put. But because the radiator was leaking, I used to drive with a jar of water to always be refilling it. I had taken it to go get it fixed, and the guy said it would take a couple days. So I decided to go to Dallas with my mom and come back and then get it fixed. Wrong choice. So I went to Dallas, came back, car was fine. Then one day we were driving to Monroe. That's from Ruston to Monroe, and my car started overheating. So I got it towed to the nearest radiator place or whatever, and apparently the radiator pipe, like before, I guess it just had a small leak, and then the thing just spread and everything like bust. So I had to get my radiator fixed that day. Then I came back unknowingly, and even though my older brother did mention this, he was like, they need to fix your top gasket. I didn't know what that was. So the mechanic guy didn't tell me anything or whatever, and I didn't really have the money to fix anything again. So I just drove my car. It was now driving fine and stuff like that. Then my mom now went back to Nigeria. So it was the day I went to drop my mom at the airport in Monroe. I came back to Ruston, and then I went to Walmart. If you live in Ruston, you'll know the neighborhood Walmart near the campus. I went there and I shopped. I came out and entered my car to drive. I started my car and it started smoking from the exhaust. It was bringing out white, like a lot of smoke. Like it could cover, like it was white smoke. And immediately I just busted out crying. I was like, God, something has happened. And there were some kind people who actually came. They were asking like, is everything okay with us? And everything was not okay. So yeah, they helped me. I called the tow company and they towed the car to the nearest auto center there, auto fixing shop there. And then I took the car there. They checked it and they said my head gasket had blown. Now, if I had fixed the top gasket, I don't think this would have been a problem. So the head gasket, basically the gasket is one thing. It looks like, you can Google it. It prevents water from leaking to mix with the oil, I think, in the engine, the motor, they call it motor, in the engine. So basically there was a water and oil mixture, and they said they don't really fix gasket because it costs as much as buying a new motor. And these people gave me the price of $6,000. So at that point, basically the best thing for me to do is to let go of my car and buy a new car. But no, I was so emotionally attached to this car that I decided to fix it. I didn't have $6,000, so there's this Nigerian guy. He really helped me. He found he found a mechanic for me that was actually like way cheaper and everything. So instead of paying $6,000, I spent about $3,500 fixing the car. And mind you, I bought this car at $1,500, and it came with 180,000 miles. I was very stupid. And I mean, everybody advised me, sell this car, don't worry, like just consider it a loss, buy a new car and stuff. I was like, where will I start from? Now this money I used to fix this car, like I got a motor, like engine. I bought engine and pay for labor and everything. It cost me like $3,500, and I got engine from scrap, like from a junkyard. So I went with the mechanic. I paid him. He went to remove the engine from a similar car in a junkyard and came and fixed it in my car. And that was basically used engine, but it sure worked. So the money I used to actually fix the car was $3,500 I saved for me to be able to move out of Ruston, Louisiana to Dallas to start a new life. Because Louisiana is, I like the state, I like my school where it's located for educational purpose. That was not where I wanted to stay, that's not where I wanted to work at. I really wanted to live in Texas, but school, I really like my school and I like the environment it was at. So when I graduated, I was only waiting for my OPT, which I later got, and I wanted to move to Texas to start a new life, get a job and everything there. The money I was going to use for my accommodation when I moved to Texas to start working, I used it to fix this car. Oh Lord, the light is going down. I'm using natural light. Anyway, so that happened, and I fixed the car, and then I drove it for about a week. Then I noticed the car started like jerking when I'm driving, like it's like you want to stop. And then my check engine light came on. Now you guys know, if you have a car, you know what check engine light is. It means there's something wrong. It's not oil light, it's not tire light, check engine light. There's something mechanical going on. So I still took the car to the mechanic. They have one machine where they attach it to your car to see the code, the error code or whatever. And when they checked, they said something that sounded like a fan belt issue. Anyways, they said it was gonna cost me $1,500 get it fixed. That's why I didn't have that. Secondly, I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with this car. And I regretted spending the money fixing the car. And there was a time I actually wanted to sell this car, but I don't know, I just couldn't let it go. So after I fixed it, after fixing it with like replacing the engine, I wanted to sell it, but I just couldn't let this car go. So I decided to keep it, to drive it, and then drove it for 1 week, and then this happened. So that day I broke down. I broke down in tears, and then I called my brother. My brother was already in Dallas. He was working there. I called him, and I just told him I'm done. Like, I'm tired. I was depressed, I was everything. And the moment I called him, it was in the evening, it was like at night. The moment I called him, he just booked me the next bus in the morning in Greyhound bus service. If you're watching it and you don't live in America, Greyhound is like a bus thing, like a what do they call this thing? Like how there's like traveling buses in Nigeria, like that, like transportation. So Greyhound is one of them. So that's what I used. I just took I didn't even pack my every other thing was in Lagos now, was in Ruston. But I just took like my clothes and came to Texas. I didn't have a job. Later on, obviously I was job hunting. There were times I had to come back to Ruston, like I rented car and all those stuff. I spent a whole lot of money. Like I cleared my account. I was squatting with my brother. I went for so many job interviews. I got denied a whole lot. Then the ones that if you move to Texas, the ones that will give you job sharp, it's all these sales people. Me personally, I can't do door-to-door sales. I just can't. It's not for me. So I didn't get those jobs. So I finally found a job at the airport, but I needed a car to drive myself to the airport. So I came back to no, I didn't come back to Ruston. I went to this to a car dealer that someone, a very kind man recommended for me. He spoke to the dealer, I explained my situation to him, and the dealer really accepted that, okay, I just give him $500 now, then take the car, then pay, later. So I paid off the car, but I wasn't able to drop $500. So the $500 and I got around. Then I was able to get that. I started working. Then I ended up paying the car off. But yeah, that's basically the entire story about my car. And I'm sharing this story because I don't want anybody to make. I feel like my mistake was very, very silly. It's like my mistake was extremely silly. I should have been wiser than that. I was just so, it's just because I worked so hard. I worked so hard for this car and I valued it so much. I was like, this is my hard-earned money. This is an achievement for me. It was just, yeah. So, it's not easy as an international student paying tuition yourself. Then you bought a car. it was not easy. The hustle was real. So yeah, that was a mistake I did. One thing I would tell you guys is if you come here, you're planning to buy a car, make sure you get a more reliable car. As for we women, we need to learn a lot about cars. I know we usually say, oh, this is man stuff or whatever. You still need to know those stuff, because look, hey, they got me. If I had someone that knew so much about cars here, that would go with me to like say, okay, do this, don't get this one, do that, I wouldn't have gotten that car. And because alone 180,000 miles is quite a lot. I know in Nigeria that's still nothing, but it's quite a lot. It's gonna, if you end up getting those type of cars, you're gonna really have to spend money fixing every time. Although mine was actually because I was wise enough. I didn't do a lot of mistakes, and if I can see a picture of the car or whatever, a video of the car, I would post it on here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the story time. It was kind of a sad one, honestly, because when I was going through that thing, it was a very terrible time for me. But now I can talk to you guys about it. And yeah, so yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, please share this video, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.